He's been a starter for us. He's been great. He's been off the bench. He's been great. And I think he's like a lot of our guys, the competitive spirit, and you get challenged like we're getting challenged in this series. You hope that it brings out the best in you, and that's what it's doing with him. Okay.
First row, left side.
Hey, Coach, Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. Just as a follow to that, what do you think has basically spurred his growth?
Are you talking about Namdi, Gabe? I would say, that old saying that we use a lot. People severely overestimate what you can get accomplished in a day, and they grossly underestimate what you can get accomplished. He was with us in the bubble as a two-way guy, and he took on the toughest role change for a young player. He was a gunslinger, two-guard. We wanted to develop him into a combo guard, somebody that could organize us, be an irritant defensively, tough, but learn how to facilitate and run a team. I think that's the toughest thing to do in this league is turn a 2 into a 1. And he openly just embraced that. And then he struggled, at times with that because you're trying to reinvent yourself. And instead of saying, this is too tough, let me be me, he's really grown the last 3, 10 and 4, 11 and 4 now with this lineup. And clearly we needed that size and veteran experience and physicality that K-Love brings. I don't know how many minutes I don't have my glasses, so I don't know the stats, but that veteran experience, the decorated championship level experience that K-Love and Kyle both brought tonight. There's not an analytic that can show you how valuable that was. Okay.
Final question on the left.
Hey, Coach. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. This is probably oversimplifying things, but sometimes when teams play against Jokic, you turn him into a scorer, you turn him...
When nobody's paying attention, and he's the epitome of that. Okay?
On the right side, fourth row.
What about this matchup led to you making the starting lineup change, and what did you like about the way they set the tone there in both halves? Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it was a lineup change. I get what you're saying. We just went back to our original lineup. We went with this lineup for 14 games. I didn't have the foresight. I didn't. That's on me. We had to make an adjustment in that Boston series, and that really was necessary, and it worked. And then we're facing a new opponent that we don't really know, and so we just went with what finished.
He only had 4 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. It's just that's the untrained eye that says something like that. This guy's an incredible player. Twice in 2 seasons he's been the best player on this planet. You can't just say, oh, make him a scorer. That's not how they play. They have so many different actions that just get you compromised. We have to focus on what we do. We try to do things the hard way, and he requires you to do many things the hard way. He has our full.
Hey, Duncan, Shane Young with Forward Sports. Coach was saying it's hard to overstate how difficult Bam's responsibilities are in this series. Curious, what has he meant for you guys and you specifically as a playmaker?
Yeah, Bam is the heart and soul of what we're doing on both ends. Sets a tone for us defensively with his versatility and just making it difficult, usually on team's best player a lot of times, especially in this series. And then offensively, he does a lot, gets people open, a lot of stuff that doesn't show up in box scores, screens, assists, all that sort of stuff, and also when he's aggressive. My bad.
You guys have kind of lived in that situation all year, having to pull games out late. It's like second nature for you guys. Was there anything special about that huddle, or was it just more of the same because it's kind of the story of your year?
Yeah, nothing that really sticks out. We got a lot of belief as a group, and to be honest, we liked the flow of the game and how it was going, and the fact that we felt like at times we really had it on our terms, and we're kind of making it difficult for them. So. That's important, but we knew they were a really good team, and we just needed to come out with a sense of urgency in that fourth. It was kind of like a now or never sort of thing. So started with the defense.
Blowing up your bread and butter actions with Bam, then it flipped in the fourth. So what changed with your pick and roll and handoff actions with Bam to let you get free?
Yeah, first off, just kind of having an approach and a disposition to not kind of just let them take me out of what we're trying to do. So that's a start, and also just kind of doing it with a brain as well. And not just going out there mindlessly and just trying to run off a handoff, but instead just being a little bit more patient, a little bit more thoughtful with it. So, was able to get open in large part because of good screens and good passing.
On the right side, fourth row.
Tim Reynolds, Associated Press. Dunk, do you remember anything specific that was said in the huddle going into the fourth? I mean, you guys have.
Hey, Duncan, Wes Goldberg, Locked On Network. You mentioned sort of your patience moving off the ball, and I'm just curious if you could take us through that play. I think you finished kind of through Jeff Green on contact, that cut to the right side of the basket. Like, what were you seeing there? Is that something that's like comes through that patience that you kind of just see those things open up as the play develops? Yeah, just not always just running to the ball. Just trying to be a little bit more creative. It's something I've been working on for a little while now. It's a development thing. It's taking time to get to that point. But it makes it easier when you got guys that can find you in those situations. Because
Duncan, Pat Graham, Associated Press. You didn't take a shot through three quarters, and then you had that stretch in the fourth where you couldn't miss. I guess did you find your rhythm then, or can you take us through that little stretch you had to kind of get this team back on track?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I hadn't done much in the first game, and then the first half of this game. We talk a lot about trying not to have empty minutes, so just trying to play with a certain level of aggressiveness on offense, just to at least be out there and have my presence felt. So obviously it helps when the ball goes in, which you can't always.
Max Strus also had a tough game one. He comes out, makes a few big threes early. Just how encouraging was that for the team, and can seeing one guy get going be contagious for the rest of the roster? Yeah,
for sure. Max coming out like that was huge, and to be honest with you, we expected it. We know how great of a shooter he is, and when he came out and hit those shots early, I think it settled everyone a little bit, and from there, it's just about continuing to chip away. So we got a lot of belief in everybody that can play with a certain level of joy. I feel like I play my best when I'm having fun, and I'm always going to try to be respectful with it, but having fun and enjoying just this stage. I mean, this is an incredible stage to be on as a player. This is what you dream about, so it doesn't make any sense to get here and not enjoy it.
We're going to take two more questions. Third row, left side.
Ethan Skolnick, 5 Reasons Sports. Duncan, just to follow on that question, with everything that you've kind of dealt with over the past couple of years, in and out of the rotation, maybe confidence at times, how gratifying is it, and how much of sort of the emotion we've seen from you as a result of that be contributing on this stage?
Yeah, it's certainly.
Man, ESPN. Duncan, after you went on that run in the fourth quarter, when you got the bucket just before the timeout, little flex, nice little, pretty impressive, I would say, mean mug there. What's going through your mind there? What are you feeling at that moment?
I mean, I surprised myself with the fact that I pulled that one out. That was not premeditated at all. That was a spur of the moment sort of thing. Truth be told, I don't get a lot of moments throughout the season to break that one out. So when you get one, you got to try to take advantage of it.
An incredible winning player, and this year